Yuri of the Fearless Partnership. In this short clip, I want to talk about a technique I've developed for handling those tough-to-have conversations that we put off. We're scared of having them, but we know they've got to be held. Now, one of the influences on this piece of thinking is a book called Crucial Conversations, and I'd recommend it to anybody. One of the things I found about that book is some of the little memory techniques that they give you to remember how to apply the technique are a little bit complicated. And I've simplified their techniques down to 3 words, which are flair, care, and share. Everybody should be able to remember that. Flair, care, share. Now, a crucial conversation, a tough-to-have conversation, is the one, you know them already. It's giving somebody negative feedback at work. It's telling a loved one or partner that you're not that thrilled with the way the relationship's going. It's confronting somebody who might have an addiction problem. It's having a conversation with a child that's maybe not behaving the way you expected them to behave. It's the tough stuff. And they say in the book Crucial Conversations that they're conversations where the stakes are high. Now, if you've built up an anxiety towards having one of these conversations, let's say it's giving somebody negative feedback at work, what tends to happen is you bottle it up, bottle it up, bottle it up, and then in the last 2 weeks of the year, when you've got to do your review, it all blurts out. I didn't think you did that right. A year ago you were wrong, and I didn't. If you hold on to those things, they come out in the wrong way. And the way to deal with them is the application of technique. If all else fails, use technique. And the technique to bear in mind, and which you can turn into a little map on your PC, your iPhone, or your tablet, is just to remember and structure the conversation that you're going to have against the following 3 words: flair, care, and share. Now, flair. Why flair? Because when you think about this subject area, the feedback or the confrontational conversation, your system flares. What's happening is the amygdala, a piece of your brain, the reptilian piece of your brain, is getting you ready for confrontation, and it makes you feel prickly and uneasy. You know it's happening because your heart rate changes, your skin may sweat a bit, you may be a little bit trembly, your eyesight changes, your focus changes, your voice changes. And what's happening is that your body is preparing you for one of 2 states. Now, the Crucial Conversations book very sweetly names them silence or violence. So if you're in the normal mode of conversation, you're in what they call the safe mode. I think it's a great expression. When we're safe, we know we can have conversations, adult conversations. But when we stray into silence or violence, then we're in dangerous territory. Now, silence is avoiding. It's making disparaging, maybe a sort of snide remark. It's not sort of really facing up to what's going on. And violence is obviously it's holding on to something and then snapping and then shouting, and then at the end of that particular loop it's ending up fighting. So first of all, spot the symptoms in your body. Are you moving to silence, or are you drifting to violence and out of the safe zone? At that point, pause. Use your second brain, the breathing in your stomach. Pause for a moment. Okay, I've recognised the sign. I'm not in the safe zone. Right, care. Say to yourself, I care about myself, my own health, my well-being. I care about the health and well-being of the person I'm talking to. I care about the quality of the relationship. So what I'm going to do is apply technique. And the majority of the technique comes in share. And share is the conscious decision to address this issue in an adult way. And it follows a certain set of steps. One, make sure you pick the right time. Okay? Make sure you pick the right time. It's important that you do that. Don't decide on the spur of the moment to just bring the subject up. Prepare. Don't grab somebody in the corridor and say, by the way, I've been putting off for a year telling you your performance is not good. It's set up the location. Find a quiet office. So first of all, prepare. Secondly, think about what you really want from the relationship. What are the intended outcomes? What did you hope that employing this person was going to bring to you and the organisation? Think about what you were hoping the relationship with a loved one or a partner was going to be about. And begin the dialogue by saying, hello employee, hello partner, hello whoever, I would like to have, I've taken the time out, and I would like you to take the time out to consider this issue. Right? When I employed you, I anticipated that our relationship would be like this, and describe it. Then pause and ask the other person, is that what you anticipated from the relationship? Now at that point, don't progress until you've agreed, mutually, roughly, broadly, consensually agreed, that what you both expected was a certain level of behaviour, a certain level of outcome. Okay? So we're both agreed, aren't we, that that's broadly what we were looking for. Well, let me describe to you my situation at the moment. Let me tell you what I'm seeing and hearing, and how what I'm seeing and hearing is making me feel, and how that's changing my behaviour towards you. Because whilst I continue to interpret what's happening in this way, then the relationship isn't moving towards the outcome that I thought it was going to be. Okay, so you've got your piece out there. I'm seeing you do this, I'm hearing you say that, I'm interpreting it as this, and it's making me act and feel in the following way. Now in our training programs, if you would like us to visit you or your organisation or take you through this on a specific level, we'll take you through the specifics of how to hold these conversations. But hopefully this, at a principle, conceptual level, you're starting to get the idea. Once you've laid your piece out, then you've got to give the other party their opportunity to state their case. A little bit like a legal trial, you know, it's not all one way. They will be seeing things and hearing things and interpreting them and feeling them and acting on what they've heard and seen and been made to feel. And you might find from that feedback your part in the breakdown of the communication. But once everything's out in the open, you're back into the safe zone. Neither of you is living in silence or violence. You're having the conversation in the safe place. And from that point, well, so that's not easy, but it's now possible to say, okay, we agree we've gone off the rails. We agree we're not in the place we wanted to be. Now let's brainstorm for possible solutions. What are some of the other ways in which we can take this forward? So we've gone through flared up silence or violence, care for me, care for you, care for the relationship, share, get it out onto the table and end up at the point where we can examine and develop mutually beneficial solutions and decide from that point on how both of our behaviour is going to adapt to stay on the delivery of the outcome that we both thought and want and intend to keep for the remainder of the relationship until it wobbles again. These things always do. But at least with technique, we have a way ahead. Flare, care, share. In a moment, our contact details will come up on the screen, and we hope that if this short video has had an impact on you, that you'll get in touch, and we'll perhaps see you in the future. Thank you.